don't know if somebody could tell the folks that they
I'm
can
on
come
it.
back on in. I appreciate it so much. Very
Rumple
sort.
is trying
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
to take this in, but I mean he's very confused. But he's trying to remember it. He's trying to take it in.
Alright, and that's everybody. Welcome back.
All right, welcome back. So here we are back in the Finger Snake Vat chamber. And they came back through the mirror, and at this, Ullman simply slides across the floor, the finger extending back out toward the entrance from where you came into his grand tower. He doesn't even say anything to anyone.
I'll go out into that other room before I talk to anybody. I'm going to leave and get outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go all the way back out, I think.
Mhm.
All right.
Now let's get the gang all back together.
Yep.
Yeah. Let me see if I can. Okay, that's a little bit better. Fixing some OBS stuff here. There we go. Okay, so yeah, you do that. You follow the Ullman thing back to Caden's Rest, deep in the night.
I say we put our curiosities to bed for the evening and hasten to this meeting
Agreed.
with the Reeve, unless anyone has any pressing business.
Well, I wouldn't mind knowing what happened when you went through that mirror.
We had a private discussion about matters of strategic importance which need to remain secret for the time being. I also revealed some private matters to Magnus. Trying to think of the best way to summarize the issue. As you know, certain elements of my order are recondite. And some of those secrets occasionally require the support of external forces. Magnus has both a taste for secrets and has proven my trust. As for Rumpled,
This other
Intuition. Yeah. I had a strong
I
intuition.
came here for gold.
Yeah. You got something way more fucked up, didn't you? I apologize.
Look different.
I apologize for dragging you into that, Flanagan. That was.
I mean, you can drag me into nothing. I didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, that's true enough.
Rumple, how are you feeling? I'm just wondering what, does he look shaken or what?
Yes.
Was he doing?
Yes, very shaken.
Okay. I just slap. I put my hand, my arm on my hand on your shoulder and say, "You all right there?"
No, I'm not going to be all right for quite some time.
If it's really too much, drink heavily, and in
Yes.
the morning the memories will be blurred.
Just what I was going to say.
I believe it is the morning. If you're all done,
I mean, yeah, but
working with
sunrise
chaos,
type
perhaps
morning.
we should get some breakfast.
I
Father Blumbat has kept vigil.
love that guy.
All right. You get what rest you can, and the sun rises on the 26th day of Erok of Lightstide on Albion.
One hit point.
And yeah, you'll get 1 hit point back for anybody that lost any. And yeah, so
I lost hit points in there.
No, I lost hit points when I sprinted into the burning building.
Yeah.
So
Who? How badly were you hurt?
Oh, I took 6 hit points. So if you want to,
I can heal you.
Sure. Hit me up.
It's 6 plus 1. Do we? We don't get a chance to rest. Do we actually heal?
We heal like a hit point at least.
yeah,
I mean, this was a sleepless night, though, right?
I mean, I'm willing to kind of. I mean, you know, yeah, let's do that. Yes. How many? The question would be, when do you want to start your day, right? Like, do you want to start at sunrise and get going, or do you want to get the rest? And in such case, it would be late morning or early afternoon.
When is the meeting with the Reeve?
We'll say that it's at noon.
I think we've earned a little bit of a sit-in.
I would agree.
But
Sounds
Alright.
good.
Yeah, if you take all the way up to noon and take your rest, then you can get your spells back, so you can your cure wounds and get 1 hit point, etc. So, all right. So, and then Magnus, the sun rises, and let's see here. The winds pick up, the pressure drops. You feel droplets on the air. You think that in the cold of night that showers will come. You think it'll be quite rainy. You see rain clouds off in the distance.
Yep, let's go to the meeting.
Yeah.
I bring Rex with me.
Okay. Do you want to have it at the Hounds Lodge or at her office at the Bristleback Inn? They have not actually, yeah.
Your call, Magnus.
I think her office. We don't need to have a bunch of all these people and who are staying there now.
Okay.
Yeah.
She is giving instructions to orderlies and messenger, young messengers, and guards are coming and going, and the peninsula is alive with the crisis of trying to investigate what happened and trying to respond and trying to ensure everyone is safe, and then also trying to help Father Bloombad, who has the miracle of being able to see into the hearts of others, and has for some time, and yet, somehow these people were able to slip past. So this place is just a hive of activity, and it looks as if Mother Sine has also not slept, and she wipes the sweat from her own brow, despite it being morning, and gathers the hem of her garment and motions you to come into the office, where there's a bunch of missives and papers and things, where she's tried to ledger all of the business of the peninsula and your council. And she says, "My lords, this is a fell day, and what a terrible way to begin Light's Tide. The people here think that we have lost the blessing of the light."
Well, that's a shame. Surely not true.
She scowls.
Well, I mean, I can imagine they would, and all the more reason to convince them otherwise, I suppose.
Agreed.
Which we always do. Indeed, we rescued all of them from that burning place last night. Surely that was a miracle?
My lords,
I, for one, worked very hard at it. Did not feel
Yes.
miraculously moved. I mostly felt a bit scorched.
The ruins of the shell of the church is going to be outlasting any of those memories of last night. I mean, that's one thing that's got to be done, and I think we got to say
Yes.
something.
on that matter, Father Bloombad, you said that you have a lot of gold saved up.
Yeah, I have 11,000.
Do you do you remember how much it cost the first time? It definitely wasn't 11,000, but I
I
can't.
do not recall.
Okay.
The main thing is that irreplaceable is that we found a few holy relics that we stocked the church with. A few things we found in the dungeon. I think one of them was like a sword used by someone from the First Crusade, and I don't think we have that anymore. So there's some stuff which is irreplaceable, but the basic. Where's the actual prices? You have a price sheet.
Yeah, I think 11,000, because it'll be half. So there's no doubt in my mind that, and then per our estate rules, that means with that 11,000 gold, you can establish a kind of transient operation. Like you could fully use it, even though it won't be repaired until the next season. So you're good to go. So you don't lose any of the benefits of the church, and I'll actually backdate that and do the estate benefits between sessions as well. So that solves that.
Well, it is very sad, but Caden's Rest will bounce back, I have no doubt. And these miscreants will be put to the sword.
She looks at you wide-eyed, bloodshot eyes. How? I'm sorry, my lord. It's just, I hope you don't mind, but I took the liberty of asking the guards, and they are certain that they had all of the coasts watched by lantern light, that there was not a single gap in their overwatch and their observation, and these somebody was able to make it to the church, or they already were there, and if they were there, then they're either here or they were able to depart. They seem to be able to operate with impunity.
Well, Algar here tracked them from the river and back again.
Yes. We can confirm that they did arrive from the river, that they did set the fire, and that they did depart again by the river. We believe they used esoteric means to do this, through no fault of our guards.
How is that possible? Father Bloombad is able to sense the hearts of people, usually across the peninsula.
They came from outside, across the river, from the north.
I see.
Listen, I understand your fear. I mean, you're what you're saying is what every single person in the community is going to be wondering, and I think what you need to know and what you can pass on is that this trouble is going to be taken care of today. We're headed out and we're going to get across that river, and whatever did this is not going to do it again, and we'll bring back proof. I just say it outright. I don't know if we can follow through on that. That's what I say.
I see. Well,
but tell us more. I know this is all an emergent situation, but my friend Monacan, I've heard some bad things.
Yes. It's hard to imagine discussing the matters which seem so important as of yesterday and now. But if you'll give me leave, my lords, I can bring you up on a couple of items that concern the council and Caden's Rest.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you set up this meeting, didn't you?
Yes, I'm sorry, my lord. I've not rested in 2 days. Forgive me. It's no excuse. She makes the symbol of the light. So yes, Monacan, I regret to say, as I know he was a friend of yours, Magnus, but he is suspected of arson and wanted, and I do not even mean the arson that happened last night. I mean 3 other instances across the environs of Caden's Rest, and they claim to have seen him, a man that looks like him.
I see. And what are the places that burned?
Yes, there was a worker's house, and this is the most egregious, my lords. 5 workers died. They were workers that had come in from the east. They were from beyond Inchbury, probably trying to escape the petty wars of those lords. And he was living near Malar's Mutts. They were 5 of them. And the house burned down. And then there were 2 fires, which are quite troublesome because there is some discord now between the workers of Bailiff Braylon in Inchbury and those in Malar's Mutts. Before this happened on the peninsula last night, they began to believe it was part of the proxy wars that were happening between the merchant lairds and warlords of Port Town on the west coast.
So these workers who died, they were part of some sort of labor dispute?
We thought so. Or Monacan. Or now some hand of chaos. I'm sorry, I should not have uttered that out loud.
All
I
3
see.
times the same fellow was seen?
No, he was seen in various crimes in the environs on the near side of Inchberry. There are these communities that lie just outside our walls. We have struggled
Yes,
to have
well,
enough guards and patrols to man them.
I know Bailiff Braylon. He's a good friend of mine.
Perhaps you can reassure the people in Inchberry, then, that we mean them no harm. I will be honest with you. Many beyond this wall are terrified of you all. Your war horses, your weapons, our mercenary army. These are distrustful and dark times.
May I intrude? Is this a woman, by the way?
Yeah, Mother
Okay.
Sene.
Ma'am, you sort of gave out that there was some hand of chaos involved, and you seemed troubled that you even said it aloud. I have heard myself that there were robed figures skulking around in an alleyway. I heard something about beware the hands.
That is troublesome. I just don't understand. Our people, they've suffered so much. But these people are light-loving people. And we have not abided the machinations of darkness here in this place.
Well, what is the evidence other than somebody seeing him in the vicinity, if I may ask?
None. It is an accusation.
I see. Well, I've been trying to find the man throughout the last week and been not successful.
Well, if you do find him, my lord, I beg of you caution. May I continue with my report? I'm loath to say there are other matters. Our tradesperson, Rasmus, is in prison and has been convicted of a crime. For we found among his inventory evil artifacts, which have been secured, but they were taken to the church, and they are now burned.
Unfortunate. What was the nature of these artifacts?
They caused, they would sometimes illumine with a dark and a kind of a moonlight would sometimes illumine them, even in the day. And when they would illumine, they would feel things would happen to people. They would drop what they were working, and it would fall on a person and cause an injury. Eventually, we inspected these items, and we had hoped to have you all, of course, Master Magnus and Father Bloombad, to have you inspect it. But if you'll forgive me, I have faith as well, and I inspected the items, and they are potent with some other. They caused harm and injury, and anyways. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, they shouldn't have been destroyed by a simple fire, then.
And out of character, you would know that you probably searched everything in there. You found the adamantine coffer, so that was intact. If you had the metal mace, the mace +1, that was intact, the relic of Caden. But
No, it was in the cave collapse. It was trapped with them.
right, that's what I thought. But other than that, all the tapestries and everything else, your money's okay too, but everything else, anything that was not, everything else was destroyed. You didn't find anything in the ruins.
I mean, unholy relics would be safe from normal fire.
Unless, of course, they were stolen by those who set it.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah, the unholy.
I mean, if they're made of regular, well,
I trust Father Bloombad's expertise on this. That the things of the arch enemy cannot be destroyed by mere flame. But did you find them among the ashes? And no, nobody found anything.
Yeah, no, I hadn't even been told about them, or I would have possibly destroyed them beforehand.
Well, Rasmus knew that he had them in his inventory and admitted that knowledge, and so I'm afraid he is actually guilty of a crime. We could not have such items. As you know, Father Bloombad, you instituted just such rules, that things of that nature are forbidden. And he is admitted to knowingly carrying these things.
well, what else is there to report?
A last thing, my lord. A missive. Who would represent the council? She looks around. Like, who's gonna...
Give it to me.
This missive, and on it says, Lady Leia Grimwald, on behalf of Lady Mara.
I'll read this out loud, by the way.
Okay, and it essentially says, in very to make it much more terse, do not work with Fingon. Meet me at the north of Port Town to discuss.
Can you spell the names of the people? Lady
Leia, Leah.
Okay.
And this other guy, Fengon, he's the guy that sent.
Yeah, he sent
the wand of attraction, I think.
no.
And Lady Leia was on behalf of somebody, you said?
Yeah, on behalf of Lady Mare, Maire. Yeah, and Fingon is Finghan, and Fingon is the owner of Inchbury and the lord of Frere Braylon, the bailiff of Inchbury.
Should we talk to this Leia? I mean, we may be her only hope.
Minus 200 XP.
Well, okay. So that's the end of the report then?
Yes. Yeah. Yes, I'm sorry. Yes.
Well, thank you very much for all your hard work. I say get some rest if you can. And meanwhile, we should decide what to do. Now, out of character, there's, about 15 minutes left in the session?
And that's exactly what we should spend that 15 minutes doing. I agree.
Yeah.
Let me start with this, though, if I may. Jay, next time? You want to do the caller next time? Just kind of flip it.
Totally.
Yeah.
All right. So, I wish that we had done more this session, which is not a knock at anybody, but we got sort of locked into some scenes, which is great. It has to happen. But I definitely, I definitely wanted to actively search for Menakan. I'm worried about him. If I couldn't find him, I don't know what, I suppose that means I would have checked at least once at that Riverside Tavern, the Rat's Nest or whatever the heck it's called.
We could talk to Krogon, right?
Krogon, that's right. He's hanging out there, and anyway, I would have certainly left a message for him to contact Magnus as soon as possible. So if that hasn't been answered, then I'm worried about him.
Right.
And all this other stuff. We're already dealing with somebody. This is what Magnus would say to the council. I'm not concerned about these labor disputes. And if he's accused, I mean, these are all things that happen outside the walls of the city, outside the walls of the peninsula, rather. And he's got his hand in one or two pies, and there's a lot of forces at play here, and we can't fool ourselves that we can master even one of them, let alone all of them. I've got a friend placed in good old bailiff, in the bailiff of Inchbury over there, and that's a genuine inn, and I don't know who it is that Magnus is working. I suppose we should find out more about this dispute in which people were so the people who were killed, they were people from Inchbury?
They were, so you have like people that migrate from the east. You don't know if they're specifically from Inchbury, but like there are these kind of like these things become less and less outside your I don't know, zone of control. Like you've got your peninsula, which they essentially worship you, and then you have what's right outside of that, which is where the building burned down, and there are workers that come out and migrate into work and then leave. And that's what happened. 5 of them died. And then outside of that, you have the bridge leading to Inchbury and the logger colony, right? And then beyond that is just wildness and the lords out east fighting with each other and stuff like that.
Okay,
And the Farmjotter to the south and Forest of Hope and
Malar's Mutts, those are the people south along the river front?
No, Malar and Rhodocon are the 2 goons of Krogon, and they kind of set up shop just outside the gate to the west. So Rhodocon's is like this bar that overlooks the river, and then you've got Malar's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well then, in that case, we should definitely meet with Lady Mara at some point. I mean, that's the north of Portstown, though. So the question is, that's
Ross,
a whole.
would you mind opening the next map out so we can see what Inchbury is and where all the places are?
This is Inchbury, right? Over here.
That's exactly right. Yeah, that's Inchbury. The biggest thing about Inchbury is they control the bridge, and Fengon has established a toll. Yeah.
Right.
So we don't like Fengon, but the bailiff of Inchbury likes me.
Right. So I guess, I mean, the big question here, there's a few big things are, do we, first off, just screw all this and go into the dungeon next time? Do we deal with the, there's that, there's Inchbury, there's Monacan, and there's the people across the river. Those seem like the major ones, right?
I mean,
I think the Dark Riders should be our highest priority because they're the ones that burned the church.
Yeah.
The trader, we could ask him where he got those things from.
Agreed. If nothing else, we need to.
Although we probably already know, though.
Yeah.
Or what? Whether we know or we have to spend roleplay time to find out what that is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. Like that might be a real quick sort of like there's like an infiltration of evil going on here, and you're right. Rasmus Pi is like he's in jail, and that would be an easy way to go. I mean, my vote is that the most pressing thing, like if we're working from the inside out on what's urgent, is like the safety of Caden's Rest. If we don't have that, and we don't have the trust of the people inside there, then we're lost. And so my vote would be to go talk to Rasmus and then get across the river and get on that and restore a sense of security, and for ourselves too, that we know we're not gonna, whatever's attacking here can't happen again, right? That's my vote. I'd love to hear everybody else's thought.
Meanwhile, I'm going to write a letter to the bailiff and explain to him that he should recall the plan that we made so long ago.
Can you do that in roleplay chat?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and then I'll respond, and we'll have kind of like we'll have that record of it.
Okay.
So what do the rest of you think about next time? That what's pressing to you? I mean, if everybody else is like, let's go to the dungeon, then that's cool. I'm hearing from Chris or from Heretic that whoever burnt the place is priority. Any other
I would
thoughts?
agree.
Yeah.
I do want to get our domestic house in order because we want to go into the dungeon. We are a institution which leaves for long periods of time and then comes back expecting to have legitimacy when we return. In order for us to do that, we need to have a stable foundation from which to depart from. If our house is not in order, we cannot trust it to be there when we return.
And do you trust Ulman Dark?
Yes.
100%. I trusted him before this evening, and nothing has changed that opinion.
Well, that's another conversation, I think.
I don't trust him to have good sense about how to send me messages, but I trust him not to.
I trust him to be a weird old coot, and he's 100% himself.
He's absolutely
every day.
having fun being like this. He's having a grand old time.
I want to offer, because it sounds like, and we're coming close to the end, and it sounds like we're talking about a major overland expedition to try to track these people down, right? Because they've got a head start. Before that happens, I'd like to propose that this is what you could spend your week doing, Algar. And essentially, with a roll, you'll know what you know. You'll either know that you can't find them, or you'll know, okay, I found them, and then, because this is like a huge... Right, like we're talking like a big overland expedition when this could be basically what you spend your week doing. That's
a perfect thing to like sick Algar on. Algar, go deal with that problem.
So this will be the same roll. So if you pass the roll, then you'll kind of know what happened with them. If you don't pass the roll, then an overland expedition is not going to work because you're not going to know where they are anyway.
Okay. Yeah, great. We spent many sessions on our doing that kind of thing, chasing people across swamps.
Yeah, and we totally.
How long ago did the workmen? The workmen in the fire. How long ago did they die?
Good question. Let's see. It was probably would have been like 2 days ago then. Would have been.
All right, so I could use Speak with Dead to talk to them.
You could do that.
Oh yeah.
Well, let me just tell the council. I owe Manakan. That's how I see it. And if there's some sort of group sponsored by this Fingon guy trying to muscle in on whatever it is that's going on locally, then I trust Manakan to be on top of it. And I'm quite sure that's probably what happened. And I'm going to take his side right now, I'll tell you. It doesn't mean I'm going to... Well, anyway.
You got the roll, Algar?
One moment.
You're working on that? Okay, gotcha. Just checking. No problem.
It's 1d4 days for me.
How many days?
That's a good
1d4.
roll.
Okay.
Yeah, and we might be able to I'm just going to do this first since this will kind of steer the whole session here. 14, so you know where they went, okay?
Uh-huh.
So,
Nice.
you know, I'm going to bring you to the big map.
Big map.
So, they took off. This is kind of your journey over the period of a week. You probably took a boat at some point. And you can tell that they went into these lowlands. And then what's worse is you make it just a bit this far, you find a high point, like a knobby knoll among these lowlands. And you can see just way off in the distance that there is a temple. And these things probably had to take a boat to the marshlands, get to a high point, and then you could track. They basically these people are able to they're coming from Rappan Athuk, essentially, is what you're able to determine.
And they've got a forward operating base, which they're using to make strikes against us.
Well, forward. They'd certainly traveled. That was, let's see here, 54 miles away.
Hey, we still have a Horn of Blasting.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's only been used once or twice.
Once.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that's great intel, and like
Actually,
exactly...
let me not screw this up because I'm hiding I'm kind of bearing the lead here. I apologize. I'm misleading unintentionally. So just to be clear, I'm going to say they came from the bridge.
Oh, from under the bridge?
From under the bridge.
That tunnel?
Yeah.
That tunnel that we didn't actually go far into that one time?
The spooky place.
Near the
We were going to
ferry
use
party.
It was so cold we were going to use it as a shelter for a while.
Yeah, and this is the Dark Cloaked Riders, right?
Yeah.
Well,
or at least someone affiliated with them.
Yeah, no one...
We haven't actually seen them. This is the people who burned the church. Past that, we know nothing.
Yeah, you don't know if they had horses. You don't know that. But maybe...
It's also possible that the Dark Cloak people are a completely separate group, though.
Yeah.
Admittedly,
it's weird that they've been... It's strange that we've heard multiple stories of dark-clad people roaming around. I mean, so they came here for... And that's a long ways to go, but regardless, we have a place. We want to find out where they went. We know exactly where they came from. And if what we want to do is protect our stronghold, then yeah, maybe what we do next session is a little bit of intel, and then head there with the Horn of Blasting, kick some ass so we feel good, and then collapse the cave or something.
So yeah,
kick some ass till we feel good.
That's great.
Catharsis.
We're coming up on time here soon, so I just want to make sure that I understand it. So we got Flanagan's the group caller. The plan is to ask Rasmus about the artifacts first thing, and then after that, we're gonna speak with the dead, right? And then on the
Could
way...
we do that in roleplay?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just mention me there. Yeah, totally. Okay, so yeah, that's what. See, like the one for one time matters a lot, doesn't it? Because like every bit of time matters. Okay,
it does.
Yeah, it's only 1d4 days, so I can't.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, anyways, so okay, so the things I need. How many mercenaries are we taking, and how are you getting there? I assume you are going to have to pay for a boat, right? Because you're traveling 60 miles across multiple river crossings, so you're going to commission a boat, and you're going to have to wait, right? So you're going to have to wait until a boat's there, and then pay a boat, and then how many mercenaries and how many horses?
So I'd like to suggest everybody feel free to weigh in, but as many mercenaries as we can take on a boat. Like I think that'll probably be our limit, and no horses, since the boat is going to be our transport. I don't think that we should waste. That's our way in and out.
Horses will fare poorly in the swamp anyway. They're not really built for it.
And the target, the destination, is to take them to the cave, set up basically a guard at the cave, and then the heroes are going to go in the cave, try to find the target and eliminate it. All right.
Yeah.
Let's remember, if we collapse the cave, there's no treasure for us.
Yeah, exactly. So it's cool to bring the Horn of Blasting, but let's go there. And when I say kick ass until we feel good, I mean like let's go in, and if we can, maybe this is going to be multiple. Well, I guess maybe this is going to be multiple sessions going into that place or something. And I guess I'm kind of wondering if like what it would take for us to have like a forward operating base up there. Do we, like, instead of having to return to Caden's Rest at the end of the session, is there something that we could do? And we're also hearing these rumors about there's, I think we might start heading that way more. Is there value in setting something up out there?
Like another boat, do they count?
Let's set up a little port, a little, what do you call it, a key for ourselves, build one, bring send 2 boats, one with workmen and one with ourselves, and we leave the workmen and some guards behind, and they build a thing, they send the raft back, and we make ourselves a little outpost there.
Yeah, that would be my question for Ross. Is like mechanic. Oh, go ahead. Or I'll just finish. Mechanically, what do we need so that we're allowed to stay out there at the end of a session? And go ahead, Heretic.
Remember there was like a monastery there? We headed towards it and we got attacked by like an invisible stalker or something?
And that was in a different place, because I know the map is small, but it's not small. It's like, that's like 60 miles away. That's why I was like, wait, let me clarify, because that's way... I don't want to... Okay, so that ends the adventure for the night.